Students, in the previous chapters, we saw that with the rise of ancient civilizations, the new Stone Age came to an end and the historic period began. In this chapter, we are going to study the beginning of historic period and the different civilizations that emerged in the historic period. All the living things, that is, we humans as well as animals, depend on nature for satisfying our needs such as food, water and shelter. However, animals do not cause any notable change in their surroundings, but we humans make changes in our surroundings in different ways. For example, bears live in caves, but we humans build houses. It shows that humans change the natural form of their surroundings. Animals eat their food in its natural form. For example, birds eat insects. Tiger eats deer. They do not cook the food, but we humans roast or cook the food before eating. They also add preservatives to preserve the food. Example, salt, soda ash, etc. Here are some of the examples of the processed things. Processed means to change its original form. Man-made tools and implements from stone and metals. Example, spears, choppers, etc. He made pots, bricks and other objects from clay. He made yarn, that is thread, from cotton, and from threads he made cloth. So, this shows that according to his needs, man made changes in the material he found in nature. For this, he required thinking, planning, and very importantly, a special skill to do all this. Example, a carpenter makes chairs out of wood, as he has a special skill of making it. The tradition of thought, skills and efforts gave rise to various arts. This knowledge of the artistic skills and traditions were handed over from one generation to another, that is, grandfather to father and father to son. Example, a weaver taught his son the skill of weaving. As the knowledge was transferred from one generation to another, thoughts and ideas were also exchanged, and due to this, language was improved. Thus, we can say that the knowledge of various arts, skills and traditions we receive from our ancestors, including the way of life, is called culture. Ancient civilizations in river valleys. Due to agriculture, people in the New Stone Age established their village settlements on the banks of various rivers. Fertile soil and constant water supply are essential things for growing good crops, and these two things were available near the rivers. So, people settled near the banks of rivers. During this time, some of the civilizations rose. Some of the factors responsible for the rise of the early civilizations are increase in agricultural production, the use of the wheel, flourishing trade, and use of well-developed scripts. These civilizations came into existence around 3000 BC in 4 regions of the world, and they are Mesopotamia, Egypt, Indian subcontinent, and China. As these civilizations were developed in the river valleys, they were called as riverine civilizations, meaning situated on the banks of rivers. Ancient riverine civilizations, Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is a region of Southwest Asia. The word Mesopotamia is formed from the ancient words meso, meaning between or in the middle of, and potamos, meaning river. So, it means the land between two rivers. It is situated between the two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. These two rivers flow through Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. Ur, Uruk, Nippur, etc. were the great cities. They were the strongest of the Sumerian city-states. Egypt. Egypt is a country in Northeast Africa, and Cairo is its capital. The river Nile flows through the eastern part of Sahara Desert in North Africa. The ancient civilization which developed on the banks of river Nile is known as the Egyptian civilization. As the river Nile got flooded, the land near the river became fertile because of the flood deposits. This rich soil was good for growing crops. So, people built small wall or bank to store the flood water, which was later used for irrigation. China. The ancient civilization of China developed and flourished in the valley of Huanghe River. The Huanghe River is also known as Yellow River. According to the Chinese tradition, a king named Huangdi introduced agriculture, animal husbandry, wheeled carts and chariots, boats and clothing in China. He is also known as the Yellow Emperor because he had a special attachment to the yellow earth. Huang in Chinese means yellow and Di means emperor. Chinese people believed that the queen of Huangdi introduced the technique of silk production and silk dyeing. Luoyang, Beijing, and Chang'an were the important cities of ancient China. Harappa. The earliest civilization on the Indian subcontinent is the Harappan civilization. A subcontinent means a large part of a continent made up of a number of countries. Indian subcontinent means the part of Asia containing India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. The Harappan civilization developed in the Indus Valley. Indus is the English word for the name Sindhu. Harappa in Punjab and Mohenjo-daro in Sindh are the two sites of Harappan civilization. They were first discovered. In 20th century, Harappa was first excavated by Rai Bahadur Dayaram Sahani and Mohenjo-daro by R.D. Banerjee. Now these cities are in Pakistan. Lothal and Dholavira in Gujarat and Kalibangan in Rajasthan are the famous sites of Harappan civilization in India. The remaining part of the lesson will be explained in the next video. Thank you for watching the video.